over, boy.
You're watching Bootleg Theater.
Bootleg Theater is not well-known movies, definitely not mainstream modern movie reviews. But every once in a while, a classic, cult or otherwise, deserves some shine. So today I decided to start a new category of Bootleg Theater, classics. Our first classic review is the shamelessly 80s martial arts comedy dipped in hip-hop, The Last Dragon. Arguably in the same lane as another over-the-top 80s classic, Big Trouble in Little China, but without being held in quite as high cult regard. So what's the story? After completing his master's training, Leroy Green, a dedicated yet naive martial artist, is sent on a fetch quest to find the final level, aka The Last Dragon.
The final level is a return to the beginning. This is the last dragon. A cycle is complete. And now, there is a new emptiness to be filled. A new journey, which you must make alone.
I am confused.
Good. Confusion is a part of life.
Master, perhaps with more time to train. Master, I need more time.
I am no longer your master.
Laura, a music video dance show host, played by Canadian singer Denise Vanity Matthews, catches Leroy's heart in all her Aquanet and sequins glory. But Leroy isn't the only one adding Laura to their list of side missions. She is pursued by a low-grade criminal businessman, Eddie Arkadian. Eddie manages a talentless wannabe Cyndi Lauper and wants Laura to expose her music video to the market.
I would not do that if I were you. Come on.
Soon after, Leroy's quest is interrupted when the town thug returns to run the streets as the Shogun of Harlem. I would dare to compare the late Julius Carry III's performance to James Hong's Lo Pan in Big Trouble in Little China, but a lot more hood.
I am sick of hearing these bullshit Superman stories about the Wassa legendary Bruce Leroy catching bullets with his teeth. Catches bullets with his teeth? Nigga, please. I'm gonna get you, Leroy. Because I am the Shogun. I will not rest until everybody knows Shogun is the master.
Fed up with Leroy's rescue attempts, Eddie hires the baddest goons in town to take him out. But you can't hire the baddest goons without hiring a Shogun of Harlem. With a common enemy, Eddie Arkadian and Sho'nuff team up.
Keep your money. You just get that sucker to the designated place at the designated time. And I will gladly designate his ass for dismemberment.
And that's the recipe for a unique 80s martial arts hip-hop comedy. And speaking of comedy, this is an extinct brand of comedy with racial humor people are too afraid to laugh at today. You will never see a comedy this unique again. You see, the whole joke is that Leroy is so dedicated to his martial arts that he has no street smarts, no game, and is beyond gullible. Often being called Bruce Leroy for acting more Asian than black.
What y'all looking for?
I am looking for the master.
Ain't no masters here, dude. Ain't no slaves either.
I seek only wisdom of the master.
Look here, chump. The master don't see nobody.
I must see the master.
Let me say it so he can understand it, Jim. You go now. Chop, chop. Holy ass out of this place. Am I saying right, my man? That's good.
The jokes are innocently lighthearted and they just work. So I encourage you, Laugh freely. No one's getting canceled. So Phil, why is it so special? This film simply cannot exist outside of the context of the 1980s, despite years of a rumored remake.
Nigga, please.
And besides that, curiosity and nostalgia are not good enough reasons to reimagine this gem. The Last Dragon is an extinct brand of Hollywood and a product of its time. Enjoy it and respect it that way. This film is so quotable, silly, campy, memorable, rhythmic, and loaded with rare replay value. In my humble opinion, I think The Last Dragon deserves just as much shine and just as much attention as Big Trouble in Little China. This is the part of the video where I normally transition into some of that bad. But more than bad about the film The Last Dragon, I got more hot takes on how the culture has changed. I feel sorry for anybody this isn't a classic for, or for anyone who didn't grow up on it. To younger viewers, I have a hard time believing you'd be able to enjoy this as it was intended, but rather through the hypersensitive lens of PC culture that you've been raised in. Not to mention, because we live in such a culture of fan-made content where B-movies are mainstream and hardly unique, younger viewers may not appreciate this for how unique it was in its time. Final verdict, punch through all the goof and the camp, and at the center of The Last Dragon is a tale about believing in yourself and doing the right thing. The Last Dragon is nothing but fun, with rhythmic pacing, punching one-liners, and brick-breaking comedy. A cinematic gem hidden by time. I mean, how many hip-hop musical action comedies starring a predominantly black cast made by a legendary music producer can you think of? If you bring a true appreciation to your viewing experience, I can't see you going wrong with The Last Dragon, and I highly encourage you to double feature it with Big Trouble in Little China. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed my classic review of The Last Dragon. My classic reviews most likely won't be in my normal rotation of hidden gems and So Bad It's Good. Think of it as those episodes when the Green Ranger showed up. Only every once in a while. But thank you again for watching. The channel is Phil For Real, the show is Bootleg Theater, and I hope to see you next time with either another hidden gem or So Bad It's Good movie review.
You made it this far, so you might as well like the video. Oh, and subscribe too.